Can we sit together, you and I, as friends, exploring a question that touches the very core of your daily existence? Why do you overthink every moment? You wake up in the morning, and before your feet touch the floor, the mind is already racing, planning the day, worrying about that meeting at 11, replaying yesterday's conversation with your colleague, wondering if you said the right thing. It is as if you are not living but chasing shadows of thoughts, caught in an endless loop of mental chatter that never seems to quiet down. Why is this happening? Let's look at this together. Not to stop thinking, but to understand it deeply. Watch yourself right now as we speak together. Notice how the mind immediately wants to categorize what I am saying, to agree or disagree, to compare it with something you have read or heard before. This very movement of the mind to analyze, to judge, to compare is the beginning of overthinking. The mind has been conditioned to believe that more thinking means better understanding, that analyzing a problem from every angle will somehow solve it. But does it? When you overthink whether to send that text message to your friend, does all that mental back and forth bring you closer to genuine communication? Or does it create more confusion, more anxiety? Consider this morning when you were choosing what to wear. Such a simple act, yet the mind made it complicated. Should I wear the blue shirt or the white one? What will people think? Is this appropriate for the weather? Will I look professional enough? Notice how what should take a moment becomes a mental exercise, a problem to be solved. But who is creating the problem? It's the mind itself, the same mind that then struggles to find a solution. You see, my friend, overthinking arises when we are not present to what is actually happening. When you are brushing your teeth, are you really brushing your teeth? Or is your mind already at the office, rehearsing what you will say to your boss? When you are having breakfast, are you tasting the food, feeling its texture? Or are you scrolling through your phone, consuming information while consuming food? Neither activity receiving your full attention. This fragmentation of attention is at the root of overthinking. The mind, not being fully here, creates problems about there. It projects into the future, creating scenarios that may never happen. It revisits the past, analyzing conversations and situations that are already over. And in this constant movement between past and future, the present moment, where life actually takes place, is missed entirely. Let me ask you something very simple. When you are walking from your car to your office, what is actually happening? Your feet are touching the ground. The air is moving against your skin. Sounds are reaching your ears. Light is entering your eyes. This is what is actually taking place. But what is the mind doing? It is rehearsing the presentation, worrying about the project deadline, thinking about lunch plans, anywhere but here, anywhere but now. Now, can you observe this tendency without trying to change it? This is crucial, my friend. The moment you try to stop overthinking, you have created another thought, another problem for the mind to solve. You have turned non-thinking into a goal, a technique, something to achieve. And what happens? The mind starts overthinking about how to stop overthinking. Do you see the trap? True observation is not an effort. When you see a beautiful sunset, do you make an effort to see it? The seeing happens naturally, without thought, without analysis. In the same way, when you observe the mind's tendency to overthink, let the observation be effortless. Simply watch as you would watch clouds moving across the sky, without judgment, without trying to change the clouds or direct their movement. Take this moment right now. As you listen to these words, notice what your mind is doing. Is it agreeing, disagreeing, planning what you will do after this conversation ends? Comparing this to other teachings you have heard? Just observe. Do not judge the mind for doing this. Do not try to stop it. Simply see it the way you might see a bird flying past your window. The bird is not a problem to be solved. It's simply what is happening. This quality of passive awareness, this effortless observation, is the key to understanding overthinking. When you bring this gentle attention to the mind's activities, something very interesting happens. The thoughts do not necessarily stop, but your relationship to them changes. You begin to see that you are not the thoughts. You are the awareness in which thoughts appear and disappear, like waves on the ocean. Imagine you are sitting by a river, watching the water flow. The water keeps moving, but you, the observer, remain still. In the same way, thoughts can keep flowing through consciousness, but the awareness that perceives them can remain peaceful, untroubled. This is not a technique to practice. It is the natural state when we are not identified with the content of consciousness. But why does the mind overthink in the first place? Look at your daily life. From the moment you wake up, you are bombarded with choices, decisions, pressures. What to eat, what to wear, which route to take to work, how to respond to emails, what to say in meetings. Society has conditioned us to believe that we must have an opinion about everything, a plan for everything, a solution for everything. This constant pressure to know, to decide, to control, creates a mind that cannot rest, that is always working, always processing. Notice also how overthinking is often fueled by fear. Fear of making the wrong choice, fear of what others will think, fear of failure, fear of missing out. When you are overthinking whether to accept the job offer, underneath all the analysis, is there not a fear? Fear of the unknown, fear of making a mistake, Fear of regret. The mind thinks that by analyzing every possibility, it can eliminate uncertainty, it can guarantee the right outcome. But life is uncertain, my friend. No amount of thinking can change this fundamental reality. So what happens when you stop fighting uncertainty and start dancing with it? What happens when you make decisions not from the cluttered space of overthinking, but from a clear, present awareness? Try this. The next time you face a simple decision, like what to have for lunch, do not think about it. Feel into your body. Notice what you are truly hungry for in this moment, and choose from that direct knowing rather than from mental analysis. This is not about becoming thoughtless or irresponsible. When planning is needed, plan. When analysis serves a practical purpose, analyze. But observe the difference between functional thinking and compulsive overthinking. Functional thinking has a beginning and an end. It serves a specific purpose. Overthinking goes round and round, creating problems where none exist, finding complications in simplicity. As we come to the end of our time together, I invite you to do something very simple. Do not think about what you have learned or understood from this conversation. Instead, simply sit where you are for a moment. Feel your body in the chair. Notice the air coming into your lungs and leaving again. Sense the aliveness of this present moment in this simple being here, without agenda, without problem to solve. You may discover a peace that no amount of thinking could ever provide. This is your natural state, my friend. This is who you are when the noise of overthinking settles into silence.